This is probably 15 to 20 pounds heavier than this one. And sometimes power is not your friend if you don't know how to handle or don't have throttle control. But on the contrast, if you have not enough thrust and you're a heavier person, then you might struggle not having the power to take off when you actually need something more powerful. The first thing I would say to someone who's interested in this is know that it's doable. I've seen people as young as 12 train and learn and start flying. And then I've seen people in their 70s. I've seen really heavy people, and I've seen really light people. I've seen certain disabilities. You name it, and I've seen if there's a will, there's a way. If that's what you want, there's a way to do it. There's the right equipment, and there's the right training, and you can learn to fly. You can tell there's a difference in the diameter of the hoop. So this is a standard paramotor size with a 125 centimeter prop. This is not very common. This is a 150 centimeter hoop with a 140 centimeter prop. So power for power, this one still wins because it's the big engine, but this is like an upgrade to a normal 80 cc engine. You have to have a basic understanding of reading air maps and knowing what airspace is restricted. You don't want to just get into this, buy it, learn to fly it, and then go ruin it for everyone and fly where you're not supposed to. At least meet with the locals that fly in your area and find out where can you fly, where should you not fly. People start this on the ground for whatever reason. It's kind of a no-no. You're not supposed to start it on the ground if you can avoid that. But I've seen people do something like this. They start it, they inadvertently throw the throttle, it presses on them, and now they're struggling as this is pushing towards them. So that's very dangerous. A lot of injuries come from contact with the propeller. If you take all the precautions and learn the skills and the mindset and the weather conditions where it's appropriate to fly, it can be the safest form of aviation where you'll just never get hurt doing it. The real purpose of the hoop is in flight. So as you see, this is not super strong to stop my hand. It won't do it. But where it helps is when I'm flying, it's to prevent the throttle and the brake toggle from touching the prop. It's really meant to stop that. You're not supposed to trust this to be the protection. It's really a mindset and habits that would protect you from encountering that propeller on the ground. There's a section of the FAA rules called Part 103 that we operate under. It's not the same as an ultralight aircraft, and it's not the same as a drone. So we're kind of our own thing. The FAA doesn't really care if you hurt yourself doing this. They do care if you hurt someone else. So there are regulations with tandem flights and where you can fly. They don't want you flying over congested areas. They don't want you flying over populated areas. But out here, if you're not in any kind of airspace restriction, it's pretty free and pretty unrestricted to come out and experience a form of aviation that is almost not regulated. They're repurposed engines. When this sport started, they took them from Vespas and scooters in Europe. So they're two-stroke. Almost all of the motors used in our sport are two-stroke. So traditionally, there's a wood propeller, and then there's carbon fiber propellers. Carbon fiber is a little more popular these days. It's pretty simple. There are two levers you pull and one throttle you squeeze.